What up, yo? It's your boy Leroy here, aka Triplelan, and you're watching Foxy Network. Well, the inspiration behind Now or Never is pretty much, about my life. I came to the point where I almost stopped doing this album because I felt like, it took forever, for me to actually, calm down and, do this album. There was so much going on in my life. I got married. I I had a child. Sorry, and school because I went back to school. And there was just so much work and all the other stuff. I was like, I didn't have time to go to the studio. I didn't have time, though I was writing and doing all these things, but to actually, saying like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do it now. I never had that time, But it came to the point like, well, I gotta do this now, or else I'll never do it. So that's how this album happened. Yeah. Okay. The reason I went to Uganda to do this album, um, first of all, and the reason why I didn't want to do it in New Zealand is, I look back in how we used to do music. I look at all my fellas, my other musicians, the guys that we started this thing with. I always, wanted to do. I'd say to myself, like the first album that I want to do, I want to go back to the roots, and be able to, merge that culture, that type of music back home, African music and a little bit of European music to mix together and then, come up with something a bit different from any other type of music. And that's pretty much what I did. So when I went down to Africa, to Uganda, I met with my friends, my other musicians, and we sat down and we talked about this, and then everyone like, man, this is such a good idea, you're coming back, and do this album here, and I'm pretty sure this album is going to impact a lot of people, of which it did, and I'm glad for that decision. Yeah. um Good question. The reason why my album has some sort of a diverse sound quality and style as well, it's because I've listened to tons and tons of songs or albums, and most of these songs seems to have one thing in common. It's more mainly most like, you see an artist or a singer will release a song, and let's say assumingly that's like a unique sound, like, wow, this is good, and then the next coming up artists will follow what the other person did, so there won't be any difference in music. So you kind of realize like a lot of artists, I ended up doing the same thing over and over, and with me it was more like, where's the creativity, where's the art in it? Art's supposed to be different. My art is different from your art, and your art should be different from mine. So that's main the reason why I um I did this album, and that's why my album sounds a bit different from any other artist. Yeah. Right. That's a that's a really really good question. Why did I choose, to make my songs different from from any other songs in the album? That's a good question because, yeah, as you say, the song like Libala. Um, Libala is mainly some sort of a Congolese, type of music. It's rumba, and Libala means, it's more something that had to do with marriage. And the style that I went for that song is mainly just to, bring ourselves back to the roots. We grew up, listening to this rumba. You hear people like, Ferigola, Fali Pupa, Papa Wemba, and these elders and old other people, and you hear a lot of inspirations. You feel at home. So I wanted to, for the people who are coming from the same background, or even for the people who don't know this type of music, to be more like, that sounds good. That what is that? You know, to be a bit more, interested in his style. So that's what I bought. I'm like, I need to bring this style to the world, to the modern world. So to me, it's out saying we are bringing up a different style to the new, to the new world, musically. Rita, the story behind Rita. Actually, when I wrote this song, I had no idea of anything behind it. I just felt like, there are a lot of guys or women who are going into this situation. Rita is mainly about, this girl that this guy is obsessed with. He grew up with her and loving this girl, but this girl never wasn't into him. Every time that this guy makes a move, she'd be like, not impressed at all. So I'm like, and without knowing, when I was in the studio, I dedicated this song actually to one of my best friends, Papadelo, and I know, man, I love you so much, you know that. And that was actually after I wrote the song, and after we playing it in the studio, he came in and it's like, whoa, Nick, hold on, man, why would you write this song? This song is more like, you wrote it about me. I'm like, bro, to be honest, man, like, no idea that this song was gonna be about you. So it ended up being about, inspired by, a friend of mine, and it even got a lot more meaning than I was expected. And so I respect Rita, and Rita, that's what Ganda. So it's like, this is a girl that you love so much that you thought maybe in the future this will be your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, and then it turns out that she was never into you, never. So that's where the inspiration came from, I would say. Song Anatingisha means you know she's shaking it, as she walks, she shakes it, in a way. So that's where Anatingisha came from. And my my friend Kevin New he's like, man, I gotta do something with this song as well. So he jumped into the track, and he did his thing, and you heard it, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it's a fantasy. It's a guy's fantasy song. So that's what it is. Yeah, girls shaking it and making guys go crazy, kind of thing. So that's the reason behind Anatingish. Yeah. The song Sila, well, it's very very personal. Sila is basically, actually, the word Sila. It comes from the word Priscilla. It's a shortened word, from Priscilla. So for you who knows that name, you already know what I'm talking about. And this song is basically inspired by then my girlfriend, now my wife and mother of my child. So I wrote this song years and years ago when we first met with my wife, and it was actually, the very first day I met her, the very first time I saw her. This after she left, because it's a long story how we met and stuff. But after she left, I went back, and I wrote this song. So basically, the song is all about my wife and how I felt and how I still feel about her. Yeah. Walla Walla. Walla Walla dance is, is all about that having good time. You know, you hear a lot of guys, I'm like, man, only if there could be like a certain dance when you're having a good time that you could be dancing to, man, that would be awesome. And I'm like, well, guys, you don't have to wait anymore. The song is here. So the Walla Walla dance has that vibe, that beat. When you go down with it, it's like when it drops, you feel like you just wanna dance. And that's when I'm like, I call it Walla Walla dance. So it's like, it's a Walla Walla. It has the Walla Walla. You could interpret in your own way. How are you taking Walla Walla? It's an anthem song for the album. I want it to be, for everyone out there as well. So when it drops, you just wanna go Walla Walla. Yeah, it's just cool. go crazy, go walla walla. That's what it's about. Yeah. Dance for me is such a beautiful song, and dance for me is more of a like you know girls having a good time. Not only girls, but everybody having a good time. What do that move that you always wanting to do. Those beautiful dance. I mean, sorry, different dances, different moves from different countries, different backgrounds. So you hear me talk about South African, South Africans, Ugandans. So in these countries, they had sort of different cultural dances, and that's mainly what I'm talking about in this song. Dance for me, go down for me. Let's see what you got from your side. Let's see girls from people from South Africa, what they got from their side, from Congo, what they got. So you see different dance moves. That's pretty much what I'm talking about, and it's mainly it's like men about girls, these ethnicity girls, what they can do. So Europeans, what do they have? Let's see it, kind of thing. So basically, that's what the song is about. Baby. Hmm. Well, big shout out to Jacinta where she is right now. Yeah, baby. Well, this song, I wrote this song ages ago as well. It was ages ago, and when I was in the studio, I made the guy listen to it. And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, we should do this song. This song is good. So big shout out to Dickin as well. Man, he's such an amazing producer. He did such an amazing job in this album. So he's like, yo, he heard it, the song, he quickly to jump on it, creating the beats, and well, the song before you know it, it was created. And I finished the song. That was way before Jacinta, came to the picture. But I felt like there was something missing to it. I was like, I need something. I need some sort of like a female voice, female vibe in this song. And they just like, you sure about it? I'm like, yeah, I need I need something different. And then there was that day when later on that day we went out, and I saw Jacinta on stage, and I felt like I think she's a good person who in this song for this song. So I approached her and I talked to her. Well, she's such an amazing person. She didn't even hesitate. She said, yeah, sure, no problem. And then that's how baby came along. And Jacinta went in and she did her magic. Well, you all heard it. Amazing. So yeah, that's how baby's all about. Came along. Well, this album is got two featuring now Jacinta and Kevin UG. And well, this is not the end of featurings. We see how this album goes, and then after it's gonna be a lot of singles coming up. And well, I'm actually open up for other featuring, but for now we just see how everything turn out like. Yeah.